Now I rise to praise the ranking member and the chairman of the committee on the great job they've done on this legislation. I have worked for years with Senator Murkowski. She is a real trooper and done a great job for our country and for her state of Alaska. Senator Cantwell in Washington the same, and I'm glad to work on this particular legislation, which I support today. I'm rising to talk for a minute about an amendment that Senator Bennett of Colorado and I will be offering to the bill at the appropriate time, called the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is a way to encourage people to finance and include in the purchase price of the purchase of a new home the right type of energy efficiency additions to that home, which will lower the cost of energy to the home, improve the rate of consumption of energy on the home, and make it easier for people to afford energy-saving R factors for their insulation, thermopane for their doors and windows, and other treatments they need to reduce cost. You know, I spent 33 years in the residential real estate. I don't know much about anything, but I know a lot about people buying houses and about the housing laws and about finance of housing. And I know this, for the entry-level borrower, which this really addresses because it addresses only FHA loans, the most important thing to have the right type of energy efficiency is to be able to afford it. And the best way to be able to afford it is to be able to finance it. If you don't allow the incorporation in the value of the additional cost of the additional R factor for insulation or thermopane factor for windows and doors, then people don't end up choosing energy efficiency. They choose less efficient houses, which last for 30 or 40 years and burn more energy during their lifetime than they would have if we not had a way to incentivize people to incorporate energy efficiency in the purchase of their new home. So my story is very simple. We're here today to encourage energy efficiency and encourage savings on energy and encourage people to focus on energy, to be a more energy-dependent country. The best way to do that is be sure we take the mechanisms of purchase, being the FHA loan in this case, to incorporate and consider for financial value purposes, for the appraisal and for the loan-to-value ratio and for qualification purposes, the savings of the R factor improvements, the thermopane improvements, and the other energy efficiency improvements that are put in. So at the appropriate time, I'll ask the chairman to recognize me sometime today to set aside the pending amendment and make this amendment pending. But until that time, I wanted to come to the floor to let the members know we have an outstanding piece of legislation which scores at 0 in terms of cost, applies only to FHA loans, encourages energy efficiency, and allows people to afford the ability to finance it and appraise it in the purchase of the house. It is a win, 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 and I'm proud to work with Senator Bennett on this legislation and appreciate being recognized by the chair. And in the absence of, I'll yield the minority whip.